Hey there, Chad here. Thanks for joining me. This is Rising Star 2. And before we get started, I noticed that there was some updates, little minor fixes for a few things. I really hadn't experienced any of them that were fixed. But he also, Todd Gillisy from Gilly Games, also added a coming soon for his upcoming game, Shrouded Aspect. I thought I'd give him a shout out. Huge fan of Todd, huge fan of Gilly Games, and I bet it will be a lot of fun. It's already on my wish list. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out soon. Looks like it's supposed to release at some point this year, and I'm excited to see what he's come up with. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our band, Everyone But Andy. And here we are, and where we left off, we had just booked a whole lot of gigs through our manager. These are all considered local gigs, but they're also mostly large. A lot of them are good sized places we're playing, 2,600. I thought there was one that was like 10,000 or something. In here, there's a 5,000, 3,400. But anyway, we've got some good sized gigs coming up. Good chance to maybe make a little money. Now, somebody had commented that I hadn't considered something properly, and I think maybe they're right. They said that, I seem to be merchandising strictly for money and I should consider it advertising as well. And that's a really good point. What they commented was that I should go ahead and drop my t-shirt price just a little bit and use it as advertising. More t-shirts equals more people, carrying my colors, so to speak. That's a pretty smart catch. I hadn't really, I wasn't doing this for the money exactly. I was kind of just doing it because, well, I guess I was doing it for the money, but I wasn't like being strategic about it. That's what I should say. I'm only going to drop it a couple of bucks, but we're going to do that. And let's just see how it goes. I kind of have a feel. We can see how many we've already sold. So we can come back to this point and say it took us a year to sell 3,200. What happened next? And maybe we can make some decisions on that. I do typically drop the price of these once they've been around for a bit. And this one is, it's at 9 months now, right? We could probably do that. So we'll come over here and there we go. We're just going to drop it to 4, which I think is its cost. I don't remember exactly. We could hit a CD store and find out, but I think $4 is the cost. And I do usually sell my albums at 10. Now, I don't play with these numbers that much. It's not like I go in once I'm huge and change my t-shirt prices, but I really never thought of it in those terms. And it's a very valid point. I don't know if it's coded that way, but it is a valid point. So we're going to give it a try. And thank you for that suggestion. I know we've got some gigs coming up, so we're going to have to do some practicing, I think. Oh, we only have one song not really ready to go, but we're playing tomorrow. I think it probably wouldn't hurt to hit everything one more time. We got gigs all week. We've got that handled for the week if we take care of it today. So that's what we're going to do. Remind myself of attitudes. Yep. Okay. That's about what I remembered. And I'm going to be a little bit smarter about paying attention to that, maybe even working songs in that are more current based on attitudes. There we have it. It isn't that I discount their impact. It's that I figure over time, if I write a hometown pride song right now, at some point in the future, that is going to be important. And so I don't quite worry about it quite so tactically. It's more of a long-term investment for me. And I generally won't write songs that are currently read. Probably could do that too if I've got the right one. And that isn't the worst thing. The thing is you don't test it out right away, right? Or you find a location where that is current and that can help too. Nonetheless, we're going to select all our songs here, practice that up. And I've been really impressed with the conversations that have been going on in some of the chats. As I kind of scroll through there, I'm not getting notifications of them again suddenly. I don't know what causes that. It usually happens for about a month, and then all of a sudden I am getting tons and tons of emails and notifications and everything that there's comments sitting out there. So I love seeing the comments. I do try to read all of them as best I can. I don't have so many that I can't. It's a matter of finding them. That's really the problem. But I will do my best to respond if I see what you had to say. And again, thank you for all the call outs of things that I could try differently. I feel like that's been kind of helpful for me. And it's again, not so much a not knowing. It's a lot of times just kind of discounting or moving away from a particular style of play. And that is one thing I've tried to call out. I don't tend to do power leveling in my videos. I talk about trying to get all the experience you can in this game, and that you could look at it that way, but there have been a lot of notes that I'm not doing a lot of stuff that I could do to grab a lot of experience points. And again, part of that is it's just not the way I tend to play games. I don't often sit back and figure out what's the best play for, this specific situation. So there you have it. Love it or hate it. I get it. It's how different people, I guess what they used to say is different strokes, right? Different strokes for different folks. And I'm just looking through this lineup. This looks like a pretty good lineup, but I need to pay attention to attitudes. And I remember one of the tips somebody gave me is filter out the attitudes that aren't working. That's probably a good idea. You can come up and at least ping them to not, at least you can kind of sort through and see what you shouldn't play, right? I don't think you can you do multiples? I don't think you can do multiples at once. So I can't exactly go in and mark deliberation and technology and travel as off limits, but I can look at each one of them independently and see if I have any songs that match those. And I don't, not that I currently was looking at playing. I have one out there taking the day, and that's kind of on my not playing it as much list right now. And it probably is because of the attitude. So let's go back to all. I could tag them, but when it's a state level one, I don't want to, not play a good song because I was in Carbondale, Illinois when it wasn't popular. And yeah, so, but I am thinking about pulling one of these out of here and plugging in another yellow song to make sure that they have the energy for this last one. I've been running out of energy there at the end, if I recall. I'm trying to decide what that needs to look like. We do have these lined up top to bottom. So let's drop these ears. Let's put in Jump First. No Looking Back is looking good as well. That's the song I want to end with though. Wild Impulse, I mean, it's doing okay. No Looking Back is a better song. Gosh, I'm not really sure what I want to drop. We're not even kicking Born and Raised just yet. No Looking Back needs to get playtime though. It's a good song. So yeah, I got a couple of things I need to do here a little differently. We've been playing, let's look at it this way. Hasn't been played. Local Legend, okay. Oh, I knew that. What I was doing real quick here, I'm looking at what's been played a lot. No Looking Back's been played a lot, but I want to play that one. Just the Licks, not an incredibly popular song, but doing okay. That one, not so much. The Price of Youth. So that's one we could, if we're currently playing it, it doesn't look like we are. Okay, well, maybe I just kind of pick and choose here. We'll get rid of Midnight Adventure, get Born and Raised. No, I wanted to put No Looking Back in, and let's drop Just the Licks, and we'll put in Say Yes Tonight. Okay, now we got to reorganize this just a little bit. Local Legend is at the top. Good. No Looking Back. Yeah, let's fire the crowd up there. Say Yes Tonight. Probably here. That probably will work. Okay, we're going to go with that and start this gig. Okay. Well, we got the audience up to 100%. I'm happy to see that. Full crowd. Let's go see what happened. Okay. Sold out crowd. It was a slow night at the merchandise counter. We dropped the price, but that's okay. That's okay. Not really my primary means of making money anymore. So let's see. Local Legend. They like it a lot. That's good. That was our first time playing it, right? It's go take a look. It has a lot of potential. Not just it has potential. This is my best song right now. Outstanding. Outstanding. That put a smile on my face. All right. So we got another one that's working for us. We have 4 now that people are really enjoying. That's great. That's great. And that gives us a foundation to build on. So we're going to come out here and we're in Carbondale. It makes sense to go home. We're not that far from home. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll spend the night doing some other stuff then. I mean, heck, maybe we should record that one like right away. Maybe we wait for a triple point day and we'll get that one in the books and hope like heck that I don't forget and accidentally wipe it for some reason because I do something stupid. I have been known to do stupid things more often than I should, honestly. But this isn't going to be one of them. I'm going to remember that one. So I guess I do want to come in here and tag it with, I used to do the gold trophy for these instead of just the smiley face. And I think I'm going to change these real quick since they are doing really well. And it's been a period of time now that these are all doing really well. We're going to set their tags and we're going to turn off the smiley and give them gold cups. Those are my hits. We'll use smileys for things that are 5-star and we want to remember that they're 5-star. So we can go with that. Jump out of there. I thought maybe since we're practiced up, we should, Local Legend should be at 100 now because we just played it last night. So that helps with that. We will instead try writing another song. And I want to look at our balance real quick. If we look at Buzz, yeah, Closer's, I think it's coming to the end of its run, honestly. And we don't have any solid screaming at us blue songs just yet. We need to get some of them played, though. That's on me. I need to be a little more intentional about making sure I'm seeing how worthy a particular song is. But I think what we'll do, let's do a yellow song today. And as I said, I'm going to see if maybe I can find one that is, well, we have a spontaneity with 35. That's good. We have technology, although technology is technically red. Like I said, I do try to avoid that. But that's about it. So let's see what we can build and maybe land in this spot where we have curves available to us. Circles, semicircles, however you want to look at it. Here's a 25 that's a curve. Let's start with that one and then go to rhythm and see if we can find a rhythm that bottoms out with a curve that's got a good number on it. Got a few 20s. That can work. Got a few 3s also. Here's a 25. That puts us at 50 plus the 35 is 85. We just have to find a 15 up here, and it looks like we can do that. Oops, I didn't hit it. There we go. We've got a 25. Can we find, and a 15 right there. Look at that, all curves. I mean, that's what we should call the song. Spontaneity, all curves. Why not? That just sounds like fun. So I'm referring to these. The notches are all semicircles. So, and at least I'll remember the song, right? So spontaneity, that looks good. Ooh, it ends up being technical. Kiwi, Chad Angel probably won't win any awards, but that's all right. And honestly, we need to see if the song's even worth keeping first, right? So another thing somebody commented on is I might be having so many breakdowns in instruments because I'm not doing enough repairing. And that is a solid point. I really appreciate that call out. Let's look at what we've got utilized. And the drum is what I'm usually running into problems with. Now, drum heads, though, those are a consumable. So I'm not quite sure how to consider those. That is the one that I tend to run into. And this is so I'm looking at the wrong thing here. I'm looking at repair. Nonetheless, when drum heads break, I don't think there's anything you can do about that. I guess can you proactively delete like a drum head when they're getting low in condition? I don't know that you can without deleting all of them. So we're not using these. Let's see if we can do anything about that. Shift right click to trash. But I think that gets rid of all of them. Yeah. So I wouldn't want to do that. So I'm not really sure there's a way to do anything about that for drumsticks, strings, and drum heads. Now things like out of tune in that, maybe that makes a factor. Or is a factor. I don't know. Whoa, there it is again, hitting the wrong key. So we're going to exit the house. We're going to go ahead and head over to the duck room. Oh, I'm going to drive there, just a couple of blocks. And since we're going by a music store, why not? Let's see what it's going to cost us to fix everything. In the grand scheme of the game, I'm not getting much experience for doing my own repairs. I kind of do that because it's, there's that chance that it's the lottery, right? Oh my gosh, I got a point. I got another point in repair. It's not happening as much as it feels like it used to. Refurbishing everything would be ideal. That has a lot of money to spend right now, though. I'm not ready to do that. We'll just repair everything for now. Maybe we pick at restoring some stuff that's getting used. Let's look at Topher's stuff. Oh, this is everybody's though, because we're in repair again. We can't just look at one. So I'm not sure who is using this piece of equipment. I was going to find something that, here we go. What's this one do? It's a +4 stage presence. That's pretty awesome. We can refurbish it for $812. We're willing to do that. I'm willing to spend about another $1,000 in refurb. What's this one do? +2, +1. It's not an incredible one. It looks like it's keyboard. So that's for Kiwi. And wouldn't hurt to go through and maybe sell off some of the things we just aren't using at all. But that seems to be the one that's most likely to damage soon. So we'll go ahead and refurbish that. Actually, a smarter move is let's go look at amps for Kiwi and see if there's anything better. +6 playing, +5 writing. I mean, that's pretty darn good, although you'll notice it's not saying we get a bonus with that. In part because this is, well, is that the one we have? Yeah, that's the one we have. That's why this one isn't in as good a condition. We're looking for something to play and have +2 or better, and there simply aren't any. So yeah, we'll do the repair on it. Kiwi, it was the one that was at 35. So there we go. And you can filter these by what's under, we could say what's under 50%. Whoops. I think everything's under 540. That's the only one. That's cool. We'll refurbish that. Now there's nothing up there. Now, hopefully I remember that I changed that, although at 50, there won't be enough equipment there for me to know that I didn't. I think I'm good with that. Let's finish getting to the duck room, get set up. Meet the other bands if we haven't already. Maybe talk a little bit, share some song ideas. The Melted Waxes, Everyone But Andy, and Automatic Kisses. Okay. Hey, we've got a good lineup here. Let's sub a couple of these out and sub a couple of things in. I feel like Born and Raised was not that bad, wasn't it? Oh no, it's not doing great. So I had been using a factor of 100. Look, for every 100 exposures, I won at 1 point, 1/100th of a point here. I've changed that mentality to thousands, and I'm not sure if that's how I always worked or not in the past when I've played without recording it. But I felt like it was 100, and I'm clearly seeing that that's not meeting my obligation for what's working for me. So we are going to make different consideration there as we move forward. Let's look at buzz. Okay. Price of Youth has a little bit of buzz. What's that one doing? It's doing okay. It's not perfect. It's doing okay. Letting Loose, not bad. I do think blue songs tend to get a little bit less notoriety or notice. So we'll maybe sub one of those in. Let's get rid of Closer. And let's try out Letting Loose. And we do want to make sure, yep, we're good there. And we're going to want to make sure we are good on attitudes overall. And we are. So I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, instrumentals are popular right now. I forgot about that. And that's one of the reasons we were playing Closer, because it's an instrumental. It's a very low quality instrumental. Okay, let's, just for fun, Do I have any others? Just the licks. That makes sense. Let's put that one in too. We'll drop. Gosh, we have plenty to drop, don't we? We'll get rid of that and we'll drop in just the licks for now. Maybe we move it here. Let's put no holding back there. Since we have a good read on it now. And yeah, let's go. All right. I think we're going to max them out again. And there it is. New song ideas. We got paid. Local Legend did not do as well in Missouri, but it did okay. It didn't do as well as Melissa. So that's really interesting because in Illinois, Local Legend did much better. Well, okay, relatively much better than Melissa. And here we have the reverse. In fact, it's roughly the opposite ratio. So I'm okay with that. It just is kind of interesting. Shirt sales look to be up. Dropping it $2 wasn't a bad idea. Selling a little bit more copies of Taken the Day. But here's where we really want to see what's happening. Local Legend did not hit here. Interesting. That is not my understanding of how things tend to work. I thought once you hit, it's a hit. Huh. Okay. Well, I'm going to continue to work with that belief. I'm going to take a quick look here. What was Illinois, their Hometown Pride? And it's a Hometown Pride song. Okay. So that makes some sense. That's okay, though. We'll take it. We're going to go ahead and head home. Write another song, and then we'll do some practice the rest of the week. Get those couple of songs up. Let's see. So spontaneity, instrumental, locally technology. We've been kind of intentionally avoiding technology, at least for now. We have a good sampling of 35, so I think we'll just go ahead and see if we can assemble something around it that's decent. Let's start with this 20 from Chad. We could go with a 25. Let's do the 25 here. That one's a pretty good one. And then we'll go to lyrics. No, we won't. We're going to go to melody. You know what? I didn't develop ideas last time, did I? I got so excited about writing a song, completely forgot to do this. There we go. That gives us some options. Oh, I'm going to keep a 1. Which one do I want to ditch? We'll ditch the 10. See how that plays out for us. There we go. Lots of little numbers. That's good. Let's go look at melody. We saw that we weren't really screaming there with bunches and bunches. We'll keep the 32. Down to 14 points, so we can do 6s, 3s, and 1s. Not seeing any 6s down here, so let's go with the 3s. We can still do 3s. You can also do A1. Here's some 3s. What do we have in rhythm? No 3s. Here's a 3. We'll take that one. I'm going to flip that one though. There we go. Okay, out of points. Let's go write a song. So we got a 25 here. And we'll just go to rhythm then. Straight down. We could do a 25. Maybe let's see if we can get by with a 20. We'll use Topher's 20 here. Melody. I mean, if we have a 35, we're in good shape. And we have some options on those too. So none of those match. Okay, so we would want, actually really we only have 135 that matches our current, and it needs to have a pointy on green. Let's see if we have one of those at 20 points. We do. It's the one I selected initially. Any other 20s? Not seeing any. We'll go with that, and then we will pick up the Carefree song. Need to think about a title for that. We'll do High Energy, and let's go with Sunday Morning Sunshine. That sounds like a Carefree song. There we go. Boom. Song written. And we do not play tonight. We have a gig in Memphis tomorrow. Write another song. So again, I talk about I like to have them grouped in threes. I don't know that our practice is to the point where we get 35 points on 3 songs. With that said, I'm losing points if I only do these 2 because I am getting more than 70. So let's go ahead and write one more. A little bit more merging. I think we're going to start down here. We'll go with Carefree. Let's do a couple of Carefree. We've kind of avoided those. Spontaneity. Of course, we burn through the points when we do this. I'm already down to where I can't do those. I could do some 20s. Not seeing any 20s. Curious if anybody else had some bigger point ones. Let's look at 20s down here just to be safe. None. Not seeing any here. No swinging 20s. Or I'm missing them. One of the two. Yell at your screen all you want. I can't see it. Okay, so we'll come in here. Coming of age. Got a lot of climate change. Let's go with coming of age. And then we'll do spontaneity because that is popular now. We'll bump those up. Okay. Don't have to hit 100. I need to remind myself of that. Just like to try to get close. Maybe we'll lower that bar for this particular song and come in starting with a couple of 20s here. If we have another one. So I could also start to try to write like difficult songs that have high quality by one author, one songwriter, to try to get to those awards. But I think I want to wait till next year to start doing that. We'll start really focusing on that in January. So we have a red there. We need, oh goodness, let's use Topher. Melody, we got a few options. We'll go with, I was trying to avoid using the big numbers here, but we can do that. And then what do we have in here? Climate change at 35, coming of age, spontaneity, technical musicianship. Well, if I do that, I'm not going to use this one. We'll go with lower overall quality, and then we'll get to 80 that way. So another coming of age song. I don't know if we've used this name yet. This is one I thought about. And we want this to be high tempo. 17 Summers. Makes me think of Alice Cooper song. You have a gig in Memphis today. You need to start driving. Yes, we do. Let's get there and let's rock it. Okay, heading down there. One of the worst things is when you're looking at that chart wrong and you're in the city you need to be in and it says next gig and you go and it meant that your next gig, not where you're at. I've had that happen a couple of times and that is painful. All right, let's go ahead and drive on up here. I want to hit this CD shop real quick. I do want to see what the cost of CDs. So if I buy CDs, $2 each. Okay, so at $4, we're still making a couple of bucks. That's absolutely fine. And I don't recall if we are auto-filling those. Auto restock, we are. So we can sell a max of 120 of them. I don't think we will ever do that. So singles don't sell quite the same. Now you might be asking, well, why don't you go ahead and put out another album? I'm going to wait until I can sign a contract for an album because I will make more money with it. That's really the main reason. So the time in between albums for me is coming up with other good song pieces that we can then reuse and have a good time with. Okay, Carefree is not on the books here tonight, or Technology, or Deliberation. Okay, Carefree, definitely one I need to look at. So Letting Loose is out. Technology, I don't think we were playing that one. Nope. Deliberation, I don't even think we have any. We don't. So we should be in pretty good shape there. Again, let's sort by attitude. Spontaneity is high. Okay, that's good. We haven't done this song yet, though. We haven't practiced this song yet. We don't want to do that. Midnight Adventure. Okay, we'll play that one. It's on our CD. So that's always a good idea. Say Yes Tonight. Spontaneity is high. That's good. Private Sorts, we could probably drop that one. Oh, we need to put a blue back in, don't we? So let's put in Rising Tides. Go there. The hard choices. Again, I think we're pretty good down to here. So we could do Winds. What's up? These Years. Yeah. I wanted to try to get the Price of Youth in there, didn't I? So let's see what we could drop and do that. Let's see about, well, these are all songs that are getting some time. I think I'm going to drop Melissa for today. Yeah, I'm going to drop Melissa and we're going to play The Price of Youth. We'll do it at the end. We'll move this guy up to here. Move this guy up to here. We know who is Jessica is huge. And we're going to go that way. I don't think we'll run out of points without playing Melissa. So here we go. I could be wrong. 3,300, not a bad crowd. Local Legend jumped there. I'm really interested to see what that looks like because I think it went to 35% on that one alone. Did pretty well. Yeah, looking good. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of our songs increased in popularity. Loving that. Our popularity went up, and let's see. Oh, I've been looking at shirts. Didn't sell a lot of shirts. That's okay. Didn't sell a lot of anything. But it says the counter was busier than usual. That's curious to me. Nonetheless, let's see where we go over here. Not a hit. That's really weird to me. Okay. Ran out of energy. Okay. Yeah, that's on me. I thought we would make it. Nope. We didn't have it. I need to pay closer attention to that. So nonetheless, they loved everything else. They were tapping their feet to No Looking Back. Awesome. We'll take it. Getting out of here. And where do we go tomorrow? We're heading to Jonesboro. I think we're just going to get there. Oh, it's not too much of a drive, is it? There we go. And we're there. Not going to do any landscaping today. And probably should drop in on a couple of agents just to see what's out there. Your agent does have a kind of location, we'll call it a bonus. They're tied to locations, and when you're playing outside of your home area, you probably should start looking into another agent in that area if that's what you want to use it for. Probably something to experiment with and kick around. Let's see here in Arkansas, we don't want patience, deliberation, or technology, and I don't think we have any patience songs right now. We do not. So we're in good shape. We can play what we want. Should we do popularity? Maybe skipping Melissa? I think let's do this. We're going to clear that. Still really surprised this isn't doing better. We'll start with that one. Let's go with, we haven't played Separate Fruit in a while. Go with Short Space to Hate. That's like a filler song. I don't think it does very well overall, but that's okay. No Looking Back. Then we'll do Winds. And then, yeah, we're going to light them up here in Arkansas. We haven't done a lot of touring in Arkansas. So let's hit them with the good stuff. I think the good stuff today is going to include, I'm trying to decide if I want to risk. Let's try a second blue, and we're going to end with who is, well, we don't have to do that then though. That blue should more than cover us. So we should be good there. 60, 45, then 75, then 45, then 35, then 65. Yeah, we should be good. There we go. Doing the math in my head on how those should play out as far as energy goes. Not sold out. That's okay. They don't know us real well here. They do seem to be enjoying our music though. Oh, we did just fine. 15. Okay. 15 energy left. That's what I meant. Hit 100%. That's starting to feel a little more normal, and that's great. I like it when that, oh, I need to click. I like it when that happens. Yeah, Local Legend is still hitting popularity-wise, but that's just weird to me. Okay, I'm not going to worry about it. I say that, and I'm going to mention it in the next 7 videos, aren't I? You know it. All right. Tapping their feet on No Looking Back. Smirking a pose. Kind of expected that. Melissa knew that. This was good. I did not look. I wanted to see shirts. 42, not bad. Selling some albums. That is great too. Hard to complain. Hard to complain. 0.05 popularity. Nice. Take that. Always take that. So Short Space to Hate. Yeah. Kind of a filler song. Wins. Not huge. We're going to go home. Let's see how our album did this week. And we have a triple day. I love it when that happens. We climbed 22 positions. Look at that. That's probably because we got out there and played a few larger gigs. Now, I don't think it's our local sales of albums is impacting this number tremendously. You know, I think what we sold, we'd have to go back and look, but I don't think we sold more than 50 at any one location. So, but it makes an impact. So that's good to see. All right, we're going to head home. There is an auto save, but we're going to do a manual save. I like to do that at the end of every episode so that I don't screw up too bad. It'll happen, but if we can minimize that, that's great. I appreciate your time. We'll pick right up at that spot. We'll do some practicing of those new songs we wrote. Probably need to refresh everything for just a second, but nonetheless, I look forward to a Christmas Eve with you all here in 2006 in the next episode. The band is Everyone But Andy, and I thank you for your time. Until next, fair travels.